up, guys? Riker the Biker here. Today's video is gonna be about anger. You know, I haven't really planned this out or anything, but I saw in the suggestions on some of the other warband members' polls and stuff on what kind of topics they should talk about, and one of the ones that was at the top was anger and some other topics of some sorts and stuff. So. I just wanted to give my opinion, or at least how I deal with anger. So we'll just jump right into it. Oh, and I'm gonna go ahead and, yeah, as you can see, I'm putting some Mordhau gameplay. It's a game I really like, and the cool thing is it kind of intertwines with the warband feel. You know, we all got our swords and shields and stuff like that, you know? We're out here just slicing heads off, holding the line, hold, you know, so... Alright, so, yeah, you can watch that while you listen to me. Alright, anger. Even though I have an opinion on it, I can't really say that I'm a really angry person at all, too. But I do remember when, well, at least my background story when it came to taking the red pill and stuff. I'll save the whole situation, what happened, like, before I took in stuff, what caused me to go online and search for it, right? But I could say the first person who officially, like, got me on it, was a YouTuber called MJ Get Right. You know, I was just laying in my bed, just chilling, and then I stumbled across the videos, and then from there on out, I just stumbled across a lot of videos, so, and here I am, you know. I'm the type of guy, before I get out, like, and explain how I deal with anger, like, nowadays I find myself, like, I'm the type of guy who, I actually reach out to, guys younger than me, you know, they're 18, 19, or 20, you know, entering college or leaving it, and I actually try my best to reach out to them and see what their mindset is on things, and, you know, I've learned my lesson not to spread this thing, the red pill, when it comes to people that might not even know about it, because you get so indulged in it, and you see the world in a whole new lens, and you really think at times, like, wow, like, you realize not a lot of people see it this way, but when you see the kind of red pill with Kevin Samuels and all these other content creators, like, kind of blowing up, you think more people would catch on to it, but it's really not that way still. You got to think there's like 8+ billion people on this earth, and half of them are guys, right? And it's just not that way, you know. So I try my best, like, to reach out to younger guys, you know, especially when I know them for a while, and I can tell how they are. I know it's hard to explain, but I'm a humble person, right? So yeah, that being said, I'm not really an angry person at all, but, like, I guess I can just dive into, like, my past, like, when I first took it. I guess I can go back to this one memory I had, that kind of, like, made me realize how some little things that made me feel, like, on edge. Like, I remember this one time, this guy came into a store I work at, and I couldn't really tell at first, but when his lady or his wife or whoever he was with, it was a Hispanic guy, right? His wife, like, she would swipe things from his hands. Her demeanor, her posture was very masculine, right? And I remember when they went back after they got what they got, whatever, right? And I was watching them through the window. He was sitting down in the driver's seat, and she was leaning over. I don't know which side it was, but, like, she had this stance, like, she was leaning over, looking around, like, as if she ran things, you know? And I don't know, everything about her, you can tell this dude is whipped, right? And not only did I see that, yeah, she had the more masculine role in the relationship, I could also see things like she's probably cheating on this dude or something, right? And, you know, I don't think about that stuff too much, but yeah, I don't know. When you see all these guys holding doors for chicks and stuff, and you think about the times like in the past when you held a door for a woman, like when you're a blue pill or something, and they didn't even say anything. You think of little things like that, and I don't know, all the little relationships you see throughout life, and you could always tell the same patterns they tell. Like explain the red pill, the tall guy, high value, like a short chick, all that stuff. And I don't know. I think what really made me get into the philosophy is a lot is it seems undeniable. Like I have yet to be proven wrong on some of these basic concepts. It's like at first when you take it, it was like, okay, this is new information. You look around you, okay, one woman does it, two of them do it, four, and then 8, and then 16, 50 of them, and then 100, and then eventually you just accept that, wow, it really is like that, right? I mean, let me not get too far off track here, but that does, like, all those examples do tie into, like, me getting off edge and, like, me constantly reminding myself, yeah, things are like that, right? But me, I don't know if it's just me or if it's just basic human nature. Like me, of course, I've come from more of a feminine background, and I don't like saying that, but it is what it is, right? And I eventually learned how to balance that out, right? Now I've honed more of my masculinity, and that obviously has made a very emotional person. And the same could be said all the guys that are taking the red pill because, blue pill, you're very emotional, right? And that's how things are. You were raised to be that way. So, I definitely lean more towards Stoicism, like even close family members of mine or friends, whenever I see them going through hardships, I remember this one time I asked, like, how did you feel about that? And I remember they replied to me, they were like, nothing. And I was like, good. Like, I'm not trying to sound like I'm a guru or anything, like, I'm humble about this stuff, but sometimes, this is one of the biggest things too. You, in any given circumstance, you do not have to open your mouth at all. You can just sit there and observe the world, even if it's like hundreds of people, 50, your friend group, your family, looking at you dead in the eyes, concentrated, waiting for a response. You do not have to open your mouth, right? Some people might hate you for it, but honestly, you're in control. Patience, and you have the ability to think about things before you do them, right? Doesn't matter how long it takes, man. Everyone's different. But that's one of the things I've learned to really hone as well. Just taking my times with things. I won't really get into how it's actually more sexual to be that way because, when you're more slow, or I wouldn't say slow, but more thoughtful about things, it kind of conjures a feeling of the bedroom and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that. Like, that's just some other philosophy of mine. But, yeah, thinking things through, not showing hardship to your emotions, And when it comes, like, to crying, right? Because anger and sadness, their emotions, they tie together. I personally wouldn't ever show anybody me shedding tears, right? And I hate to say it, but like I was raised to be that way, right? And it's a bad part of me that I really don't like, so nobody would ever see it. Also, another thing I wanted to mention, maybe this doesn't really help me. It kind of does when I think about it, but if you ever think about how, like, how basketball players win games, right? NBA basketball players. you can tell they're not really that excited unless it's the playoffs, right, or the championships. They just go about their day, and when they lose, it's the same exact way. It's pretty much a way of don't celebrate and don't grieve on your gains and losses, right? Just look at it and accept it, pretty much. What's another way I deal with my anger? I guess I really dive into it. Like, let's say, I'm thinking about one negative comment, right? And then I'm like, okay, well, so far on these videos, I've had like 100 or 50 good comments. I'm like, damn, what's that one comment, bro? That's bothering me. It's like, because obviously it might stand out, and I think about it. I'm like, look at all these other good comments. I know I'm putting my effort into this. I know I'm out here to spread a good word. I know I'm happy with myself. I know I'm doing all these things. You know, I'm like, a negative comment, and I just laugh. I just laugh. I'm like, okay, well, I figured that out. And then if I go about my day 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, I'm like, and I remember it again. I'm like, before I start getting that lingering feelings, like, oh, that sucks, I'll just remember, wait, didn't I just laugh about that like 5-10 minutes ago? I already solved this problem. And then I'll look around, I'm like, why do I feel this type of way? And then little things like you could force a smile, or I'm not saying become like a doughy boy or something. I'm just saying, like, sometimes forcing a smile and like being in a good mood, it really helps out, you know. And just try to switch it up real quick, you know. Some could say it's not natural for human emotions to be very rapid. Like, if you're in a bad mood, you have to stay that way. Honestly, yeah, I could see that, but I also agree with that. You as a human being, you can change your personality and who you are at any given moment in this life, because the only reason that whatever inside of you is stopping you from doing that is other people, because people like predictability. People like you and me, when we meet somebody, we expect them to act a certain way, do certain things, say certain things. You don't expect them to be dressing a different way and then giving you a mean mug, right? When yesterday, the last day, they were the nicest person ever, right? People like to live predictable lives. And even myself, I've learned, you know, it's like, I can change at any given moment. I don't really care what anybody thinks, and that's a different trait, but the anger is it's a unique thing, man. But I don't know. Like, I wonder what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you guys do to deal with your anger, because that's a very unique topic. Like, I think another way I deal with anger too, as well, I should say, that my poetry. Definitely. So yeah, I've been writing since 2013, guys, and I used to write in quantity over quality. Now it's definitely over quality over quantity, and I probably write 3-4 poems every month on average. On like good months, probably 6. Maybe not so good months, probably 1 or 2. But I've learned to put it down on paper, right? I might sound like a kind of extremist, but like, I actually wish young boys weren't taught to be emotional, right? Like, the extremist parts about it come out is because who's to say that these emotional kids don't grow up to be the next school shooters, right? Or to be that one guy who shot up a school on Valentine's Day. It's like, oh, no, that's like, I hear all the arguments. I'm like, okay, why did that person do that? It was anger. Okay, anger's an emotion. Okay, what's the opposite of love? How are people treating each other nowadays? Pain. Okay, anger. It all ties together. People just want the nice part of emotions, and it's just not that easy. That's why I kind of go back to that basketball reference, you know, like really honestly dealing with these women and like things like that. It's just your turn, dude, and um it's being stoic is just the way to go because you don't know if 20 seconds is gonna land you 20 years in jail or prison, right? Like, what's the purpose of emotions, right? But I'm not that much of a pessimist. I can honestly say, like, ideally, right? If you found that special woman that's 18 years old, traditional, a virgin, tattoo-less, that-less, whatever, yeah, that stuff on the, they talk about in the warband, right? Go for it, right? And everybody's game is different. I ain't gonna hate y'all for it. I'm not extremist when it comes to that stuff, but great. But you should, to dive into that kind of scenario, you also gotta have the power to cut it off immediately, right? I feel like I'm at a point where I can do that. I haven't really built a strong connection like that with somebody yet, or if I will again. But I can honestly say how observant I am in this life and how I remember everything that's happened, my memories, and what I've learned so far, that I would bid them farewell and just leave it at that, right? No games, no toxicity, no romance. I value myself. You should value your. The other person should value themselves as well. If that's truly how they feel, then so be it. Alright, guys, don't want to make this video too long, but sorry if I didn't get into anger too much. It's not like I talked about like punching pillows or getting into UFC or MMA, right, or jiu-jitsu. Working out's good too, but there's a lot of ways of dealing with anger, but it also comes with mindset as well, right? It's not just a physical thing. One thing I could definitely say that I've been going by for years now, I think, is don't let your emotions control your actions. Let your actions control your emotions. Okay, guys. Riker the Biker. Take it easy.